How you doing, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're just gonna jump into it, no wasting time. This is the factory Toyota CV axle. This is the driver's side, which in the last video we changed the needle bearing to the East Coast gear supply bushing. So today what we're gonna do is we are gonna reboot this with a high angle CV boots. Now, of course, for the inner part, we got the Porsche 930 high angle boots. The part number on this is going to be 86-9306-0. I'll also leave all the links for everything that we're going to use today. And then for the outer boots is going to be this Beck & Arley CV boots 103-2818. Now these come with the grease and clamps, and also it comes with C-clips if you need them. Anyways, those were done. So what we did is, since we only have two, each bag fills one CV boot. We also got some grease, and this is a Dorman part 614066, and this is each bag is gonna be for one boot. So we got those, and we also got some extra CV clamps just in case we need it. I mean, you could use metal zip ties or regular zip ties, but we're gonna go ahead and clean it up and replace the CV boots. Now, it's leaking a little bit here. I don't think it's really tore up that bad, but they seem like they're in pretty good shape. They don't make any noises or anything like that, so we're gonna go ahead and replace them so we can prevent them tearing up when we lift the truck. All right, so let's get into it. So first thing we want to do is try at least to clean it up from all the gunk and grime, and this is going to be a pretty nasty job, but you know, we're just gonna go ahead and try to clean it up as much as we can, because as you can see, that's all dirt and grime and everything. As you can see, the boot is fairly in good shape. But since we changed the needle bushing, might as well, while these are out, go ahead and change the CV boots. All right, so what we're gonna do is get this clamp off, if I can get it off. All right, so we went ahead and slid the boot down where we could see the C-clip. I don't think you can see it. It's just super grimy and dirty. But it's right here, as you can see. If we clean it up a little bit, that's the C-clip right there. So we're gonna go ahead and remove it. And there it goes. You just remove the C-clip. There's your CVX. So we don't have any dirt or anything like that. So it's pretty good. All right, once we do that, we can put this aside and remove this CV boot, which is not bad. Still pretty good CV boot. So what we're gonna do is clean the shaft. Since we're doing this side, the easy way is not to take this apart, is to take these clamps off and slide the boot over and put the outer boots on first and then the inner boots, and then fill it up with the grease, and should be that easy. But yeah, let me go ahead and take these clamps off the other part, the other CV. Again, it's still full of grease. I don't know if I'm gonna put a lot of grease in there or not, but I am gonna clean it up a little bit. Again, see, factory boot and this one, and this one's actually pretty hard. It's more like plastic than actual rubber right here. So it's the same size for the outers. It's just a newer boot, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it while I'm in there. You know, I don't want nothing tearing up on me or whatever, so we're just gonna put a little lube in here and the inside, kind of get it to slide over this part, and we will see if we need any grease for it. Just gonna make sure that it's filled with new grease. Also, kind of fill it up, pack it in. I'll make sure everything's packed in. We got enough grease in there. God, this job is a messy job. I wonder why no shops wants to do it. Oh yeah. All right, so slid over, so we can go ahead and put the clamps in. All right, now for this one. This hole is pretty small, so we're definitely gonna need some grease put in here so we can get through. As you see, I'm just putting it right here in the hole, so it'll slide, because it's a pretty tight fit. Now this one is so much bigger than the one that we took out. Again, the ribs are about the same, but this is gonna go over where this one went over to here. This one's gonna go over all the way up to here, and that's what's gonna hold it. So we're gonna go, just gonna have to get it in. Jeez. Once you get it in, you just slide it until it locks in place. And this one's definitely going to get a lot more grease because of how big the boot is. So we're going to fill it up with grease, as much grease as we can. Now we're going to pack it with grease. Make sure it's packed. I feel like still needs a little bit more grease. I don't know if that's a lot of grease or just enough. We'll find out. So for this one, we are gonna grab it and try to slide it. All right, so once you put this thing and slide it forward, the C-clip should attach, and then once you pull it out, won't come out just because the C-clip is engaged. So now what we're gonna do, we filled it up with grease, so we're gonna push it all the way up to here, and that should be it. But this is gonna have to be here, and now we're gonna put our clamps on so the boot won't come off. But yeah, to be honest with you, this is a cheap fix if you're lifting it. Now it's not necessary to do it depending on how high you're going, but I always recommend, if you're gonna do any modification, might as well do it right instead of doing it cheaply. Now of course this is cheap, better than the red ones that they sell. Those are like 120. I think these two of them for 60 bucks, so you can't beat it. Half of the price for the same performance. Now I'm not going too high, I'm just going about 2 inches, so really I could have just ran the factory boots and I would not have had any problems. But since I was doing the bushing, might as well do it while it's out and take care of this problem. New boots, the CV axle is pretty good, so just go ahead and reboot it, and that's it. Yeah, so let's go ahead and clean all this mess and then put our clamps on. All right, so the CV axle is done. I wish I had bigger zip ties. I thought I had very big zip ties. You can see I have a lot of zip ties, but the clamps were just too small for this one. This one, the big one, is perfect. The small one was too big, and same with here. So I ended up using 2 zip ties, well 4 zip ties all attached together, so I could make 2 big ones. Now this clamp is a little too small. I'll try to push it on, but right now it's holding pretty well. Eventually I will cut these and buy me like a big metal zip ties and put them on, just because of my OCD and me trying to, you know, see if it's I don't want it to come out, or grease will sling out or slide off or anything like that. So I'll be checking on it until I could go to Home Depot or something and get some really big thick zip ties, or metal zip ties that is, But yeah, it's pretty simple to do it. It's not that hard. So we are gonna be going and putting this in the truck, so let's go.